Okay, so this is going on from the last 2 legato lessons I've done. This is going to be part 3. I'm going to show you how I practice my accuracy and just elaborate more on how I manipulate the click and metronome and how I practice against it to improve my time feel. Because like I've said before, legato and playing really good legato, you have to make sure your timing is on point and you're knowing what the subdivision you're playing at that particular point is as well. So today I'm just going to show you a few things I do to help my kind of accuracy, or the best accuracy I can get at that particular point. Some days are better than others, but what I would generally do, and it's really important, I can't stress this enough, that when you're practicing, it is really important that you play with the metronome, okay? Because when the metronome isn't there, you still want your timing to be good, and what you're doing with the metronome is you're building up your feel, your time feel, and the accuracy of your lines. Okay, so when the metronome is taken away, you've built that inner clock in you already. It's there, okay, and it's going to help even when the metronome's not there. Okay, I advise you to not practice like your legato thing against the backing track straight away, or anything like that, because you want to strip it back so much, okay? And what the metronome does, it gives us a constant and honest representation of where we are in time, so it can tell us if we're pushing time, we're pulling time, etc. So I'm just going to show you a couple of things that I do today to help with my legato or picking. You can use just practice alternate picking with this. I do the same thing, but I'm looking at today on specifically the legato. So what I would do is just generally set up a metronome to say 120, okay? And I would start. Oh, it's really important before I start this. When you're playing legato, don't just start off practicing freestyle, going like and thinking, oh, my timing's good because I can play it. We're not matching it up against anything, so it's really important to always play with a click, okay? When you get, some good practice and you're more advanced with it, then you can kind of play without a click and know that your timing is good. But until we've built that inner time field clock in ourselves, it's hard to judge where we are. So at the start of your practice, play with the metronome. Okay, so I'm going to play 120. My tone is, I've got really kind of like a really low gain tone to help hear everything, okay? I don't want to have a super high gain tone to start with because it's going to sound a bit mushy, and we just want to make things as simple and as clean as possible, because this is just about the timing first of all. So what I would do is just play quarter notes, okay? Sorry. Okay, so that's simple enough. I would then start doing maybe some eighth notes over this. There we go. So I'm chucking in some chromaticism. Okay, so again, that's quite straightforward because the beat is so constant, the timing is hard to sway from, okay? So what I'm going to do now, this is at 120, I'm going to half this to 60. And I'm going to try and play exactly the same thing what I've just done, but I've taken a couple of beats out, right? So what I just played was this. I'll go back to 120 a sec. So this is what I've just played. Okay, so da 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 da. I'm going to half it to 60 and play exactly the same thing. Now, because I've taken a beat out, it's going to be harder. I've got to maintain this timing myself because that extra beat, those extra couple of beats aren't there, if that makes sense. So see what I mean? So I'm going to play exactly the same thing. At 120, I was playing eighth notes at this timing at 60. It's going to be 16th notes, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Okay, now I can maybe double up and up the subdivision what I'm playing, but keeping the beats at 60, okay? So when anyone says, oh, 60 is too slow, no, you can practice your subdivisions at a really slow tempo. This is where your timing comes in and see where you are with it. So I was just playing da 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 da. Now I'm gonna try maybe sextuplets, okay? So da 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 da. Okay, so you can here it's a bit harder doing that, okay, because you're creating the time yourself in between with the lines you're using. Okay, now that's sort of like a mid-tempo. Mid-tempo I always find personally it's a bit harder to control. Okay, so that's a really good one. I'll do it again. So it'd be like. Okay, so even there was a couple of little notes there which I was like hanging on, I had down too much, but against the 120, the beat, playing at that, it would be it's not so exposed. So I can try and what I could do now is be absolutely daring and maybe drop it half again to 30 BPM. Now I practice a lot on 30, and now if you're practicing at slower subdivision, slower BPMs, but you're keeping the subdivision high. Really, really good practice. So this is 30, long stretches of gap between the beat, right? So I need to find the subdivision first, and this is very hard to do straight away, so please forgive me if I take a couple of seconds to try and match it. So it would be so that even is hard, but now I'm going to up the subdivision with my playing. Okay, so that is the kind of practice I would do. Really slow BPM, 30 BPM, and I was trying to keep the subdivision high. That's how you get accurate. Now if you go back up to the 120 now, okay, which is generally like a faster kind of track anyway, or no, it'd be a standard kind of pop track, I guess. When you're playing just played then was exactly the same as what I was playing at 30. Okay, I'll do it again at 120. Okay, now I'm going to try and do it at 30. I should be able to do the same thing. Okay, so yeah, that is how I would practice your legato. Get the tempo at a speed, fast and speed, half it and half it again. As you can see, it's not always going to be perfect, but when you do start to play along with the track, then it starts to show. Okay, and then that drilling of the exercises, and you're practicing with a low gain kind of amp to a metronome. That's where it's going to flourish. So have a go at that. Let me know how you think. I'm going to do a part 4 on this. So yeah, please subscribe and write comments below of what you want to see in the next lessons. But yeah, have a good day, and I'll catch up with you soon.